about ourselves. We can't do that at home.
That's if they've heard it all.
Well, I'm Jorma Kaukonen, and this is my buddy.
Jack Casady.
Yes, that's Jack Casady, and we're gonna do one of Reverend Gary Davis's secular songs. This is sort of his version of Hesitation Blues. Well, now ain't nickel's a nickel, dime is a dime. I need a new gown, Lord, she won't mind. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get you now, baby? Must I hesitate? You know that eagle on the dollar says in God we trust. Said you want a man, wanna see that dollar. First tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get you now, baby? Must I hesitate? You know there's rocks in the ocean, fish in the sea. Lord, it knows you mean that world to me. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get you now, baby? Must I hesitate? The hesitation stocking, hesitation shoes, Lord, I know I got them hesitation blues. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get you now, baby? Must I hesitate? Can I get you now, must I hesitate? This is a tune off our new Steady As She Goes album, and it's called Things That Might Have Been. When I was young, on the street where I lived, my brother and I were two distant kids. We shared the same house, we shared the same name, but out in the street we played two different games. Mama and Daddy were fighting wars of their own, left their two boys to go it alone. We searched for a harbor safe for the heart. Like ships in the night, our lives drifted apart. Sometimes I think of things that might have been. In the garden of life, nothing blooms on its own, and nothing is gained by living alone. This plain little truth lay hidden in time. I wasted so much trying to find what was mine. Years flowed behind us, we mourned for the dead, and never took notice of things left unsaid. But life's for the living, and that river flows on. There's time for our kids, that moment is gone. Sometimes I think of things that might have been. To men who went our own way. What happened in years began with a day. The days felt like leaves until the branches were bare. A wound in the chest just like the tip of a spear. If I could go back, might find a new road, an untraveled path I missed long ago. But the arrow of time flies only one way. The past is the night, it's gone in the day. Sometimes I think of things that might have been. Sometimes I think of things that might have been. We're going to do our version of an old Blind Blake song. It's called That'll Never Happen No More. You get a bass solo here, don't you forget it, okay? gal in a cabaret. Pretty papa ought to go my way. Mad to know what it's all about. Well, bring me home just to throw me out. Broke my nose, split my head. Don't let me catch you here again. Through the kitchen, baby, out through the door. Hit me with a chair. It got so well, never happened no more. Happen no more. Well, I live in Chicago, said winter and fall caused me to wear my overalls. Got broke, but it was my fault. Used to eating pork chops and leaving the salt. Met a gal, a big mink coat, fancy car, a 40-foot boat. Pulled a gun and she took my dough. Didn't get mad, didn't get so well. Never happened no more. Happened no more. Well, I met a gal in a cabaret parade. Papa gone my way, mad to know what it's all about. Well, bring me home just to throw me, broke my nose and split my head. Don't let me catch you here again. Through the kitchen, baby, out through the door, hit me with a chair. It got so well, never happened no more. Said that never happened no more. Well, never happened no more. Mama said that'll never happen no more. We're gonna do a song called Water Song.
Hi, I'm Angie with Crawdaddy Magazine, and I'm here with Hot Tuna, Jack Casady, and Jorma Kaukonen. Jorma K. So,
well done.
Thank you. Thanks so much for sticking around after your session. You guys at home, make sure you check that out. They just played a few acoustic songs for us here today at the Vaults. So kind of just getting started, you guys have a really, really long friendship. When did you first meet and start playing music together? I know you're children.
That's a good question. You know, I think we probably first met through my older brother, Charles Casady, who's a resident not far from here in San Francisco. And I think it was just one of those after-school things in junior high and high school where you hang out and you meet.
Well, there's some crucial stuff there. I mean, the chick, that's his older brother, he's a year older than me, so he had a driver's license before everybody else. So, of course, he was the most popular.
It's
and a
crucial,
car.
yeah.
So he was the most popular guy around. So we hung out with him a lot. And then in the course of driving in his 34 Ford and eating Mrs. Cassidy's roast beef sandwiches,
Yes.
I met Jack, and we discovered we had music in common.
Yeah, I was playing guitar. I started at age 12. And this was around 13 and a half, something like that. I think I met Jorma and hanging out. And we listening to records. And Jorma had an acoustic guitar, a J50, the famous Gibson J50. J45, yes. And we started playing some songs together and songs of the day, Gene Vincent songs and Buddy Holly songs and Johnny Cash songs, stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I think we just listened to Red Cadillac and Black Mustache the other day.
That's right. And who did that song?
I forgot. Who did
I can't believe this. Bob Lumen.
Bob Lumen. Bob Lumen.
Noted.
And so we started putting some material together, like you want to do, and we got a drummer, Warren Smith at the time, and then later on Ronnie McDonald, and we put a little band together.
And this was back in D.C., back when you were like in
And
high
this
school.
was
It
we were
was.
still in high school. I was in junior high. He was in high school.
I remember our first gig. I think we figured, how hard could it be, you know?
Well,
And considering
naturally.
how good we were at the time, it probably
Yeah.
wasn't that hard. But our first gig was at a Woodrow Wilson High sorority party.
Yeah, I
we
think
probably-
Charlotte Harbor.
Charlotte Harbor. We probably only lost about $5 in that gig.
Yeah, probably only. But we did our first New Year's Eve gig. Were you involved?
I
in that?
was.
Yes, I believe that was the sort of insane asylum that was in
I don't
David
think there's
and
any
Lisa.
sort of about it.
Yeah, it was some sort of insane asylum. They call them back in the day. It wasn't politically correct, but
what
we
they
got
call 'em.
$25 a piece, and that was like, I mean, that was like
Big bucks.
like
Oh,
big major
absolutely.
bucks, considering gasoline was 19 cents a gallon.
Good old days. Yeah. So, ultimately, you both ended up on the West Coast in San Francisco
did.
as a part of the Jefferson Airplane. You were the first one on board there, and then you brought Jack out to replace the existing
Correct.
first
Thank you,
bass
Jorma.
player.
You're welcome, Jack. And you owe me big time, buddy.
Yeah,
and don't you
absolutely.
forget it.
I always have. Oh, yeah.
I mean, the funny thing about that is I've told the story 1,000 times, but in our band, Jack played guitar, I played rhythm guitar and sang. But he perceived that there was more work for bass players or whatever. In any case, he played bass, but I'd already left D.C., so I'd never really heard him play. But I just had a feeling he'd be good. I do remember when I picked him up at the airport, I think the first thing I said was, "You better be able to play."
I feel like I vouched for you.
He didn't let me down.
Oh, nice.
He picked me up in his convertible Sunbeam at the
My
airport.
Sunbeam.
Yes.
And you're like, this is California. Yeah. Can you speak a little bit to being part of such a pioneering band and how that sort of shaped your musical directions and kind of where you were at the time?
For me, it was really great. It was an opening up. I tell my students now at the Fur Piece Ranch in
Thank you, Jack.
Southeast Ohio, the Jorma Kaukonen Fur Piece Ranch, that there's a period in your growth as a young musician where you've got to make a breakaway. You've got to break away from learning other people's material and just mimicking other songs to writing your own songs and writing your own music. And that, for me, that was coming out to California to join the Jefferson Airplane, because I'd worked in a lot of R&B bands. Thank you, Jorma.
You're welcome.
And I've worked in a lot of R&B bands and a lot of bands in club circuit where you played 5 sets a night and you played other people's songs, and the club owners demanded that because that was the nature of the business then. But nobody wanted to hear your own stuff. So coming out to California, we were able to draw from all of our influences and have an audience that would listen to listen to the product that you would come out with, listen to the songs that you'd work
Something
on
they'd never heard
with,
before,
with
yeah.
something they'd never heard before, and have the patience to do that rather than come in like a toga party. They want to sing along with whatever the latest song is. And so it was a big breakaway point for everybody involved, I think, to get the chance to do that and have a local audience that would be behind you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, for me also, when Paul Kantner got me into the band, I was really a folk solo guitar player most of the time. So the whole concept of band dynamics was a new thing to me, so it was a challenge to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But thank God it did work, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean that was such a pioneering sound and direction for
Right. I mean,
for anyone.
and that sounds great when you, a journalist, say that was a pioneering sound. I go, well, yes, we, but it wasn't like that. That's just what we did.
Right. But we have went with the times,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So Hot Tuna was created in the late 60s as a
It
direct.
was, yeah.
You guys wanted to do some more bluesy material.
Well, I think it's that sort of implies an intellectual assent of some sort, and I'm not sure we're really
It was that conscious, yeah.
right. But what happened was, and again, I've told this story a number of times, but it really is true. Hard to imagine, but in those days they didn't have TVs in hotel rooms.
They did, but they
now we
didn't
get upset
work.
if they don't have a
Right.
flat screen TV. But anyway, and we also shared rooms a lot. So in the beginning of a lot of the airplane gigs, they didn't go late like they did later on, and we'd get back to the room, and I'd have my acoustic guitar, and he'd have his bass, and we just started playing the folky stuff that I'd done before. Now a lot of people do that today. The acoustic guitar. Electric bass thing, a lot of people do it, but I have to say that I believe we were the first, as far as I
Correct.
know, to actually do that and make it
We
work. And
alienated everybody.
I mean, it just started to happen, and then at one of the shows, I think Paul, I forget where it was. It might have been the Fillmore East or something, but Paul went, "Why don't you guys play a song?" Us? So we played something. I don't
So
know.
we
Every
played
Hour
something
Journey or
opening up to
whatever.
ourselves, so to speak, and
And it gained a life of its own, and.
So it was done in parallel with Jefferson Airplane.
In
You
the
guys kept this
beginning,
going as well?
absolutely, yeah. And then, like I said, after all, it gained a lot of momentum by itself, and then ultimately,
Here we are, yeah.
that's right.
it's still here.
So, you guys do the acoustic Hot Tuna, which we saw today, as well
Right.
as the electric Hot Tuna.
Correct.
Yeah, the electric hadn't really, in the beginning we didn't really have that, and then we went through a lot of sort of interesting incarnations where sort of half of the airplane was part of Electric Hot Tuna, and a bunch of my friends that lived in Santa Cruz and this and that. My brother played with us for a while, and it just took really a while to find out where it was going, but it was always fun. I mean, we just here we are. Let's play some songs.
Yeah.
So it seems like now, based on kind of the venue and the climate of the show, you guys kind of cater either one to
Well,
where you're at?
it usually depends on when the gigs are set up with the agency. They're really usually booked as acoustic or electric. And yeah, I mean, if we're we just did this Mountain Jam Festival in New York recently. I mean, something like that is absolutely an electric show.
Because you want it to be loud.
Yeah, not only is it an electric show, but we don't do the softer side of Hot Tuna songs either. I mean, you got to hit these people with
rock
a
out, yeah.
sledgehammer, yeah, which we can do, so that's okay.
Kind of just going back a little bit, being here at the Vault, we're kind
Yeah.
of surrounded by all this memorabilia from the heyday of psychedelic
Right.
rock. Do you have any Bill Graham stories that you'd like to share?
Well, I guess one of the ones that comes to mind, everybody's got a Bill Graham story, but right up the street from the Fillmore, on Divisadero Street, used to be the Western Addition in those days, and I lived in this seedy little apartment, and we used to, when we'd be working at the Fillmore, we would occasionally go back to the apartment just to sort of relax, a little recreational hiatus, and one time we were coming back, we were supposed to play, and I didn't think we were late, but Bill did. And he was on the street just ranting, being Bill,
Yeah,
Yes,
runs a tight
We're
ship.
lucky he didn't. Yes, he does. We're lucky he didn't kill us.
The vision was that he leapt out from the building and onto the car as a gargoyle.
Oh, I forgot.
As we drove up, and he dressed us down right in public too.
It's like a
right
horror
in,
movie.
And he. But
can be scary, huh?
actually he was a good father figure in a way. He looked out and he wrote letters to Jorma's parents about how he was doing and all
Yeah,
this
what a
kind of
jerk
thing.
I was, yeah.
And it was great. He was a a really interesting fellow. At the time, I don't think we appreciated it, but his sense of responsibility was legendary. About responsibility to the patrons that came to the place, responsibility to the venue, how it was done. That's why he was everywhere at once. He was polishing the apples in front, and he was setting up the stage in the back, all at the same time.
He also managed us for a brief period of time, and I don't remember where this was what caused us to go elsewhere, but one of his ideas that didn't plan out, he wanted us to have band uniforms. Think about that for a minute.
For the Jefferson Airplane?
Yeah, now I had just left the band uniform, back in Washington, D.C., but anyway, there you go.
Pink tuxes.
Yeah.
What a
Exactly.
funny direction that would have been, you know?
Exactly.
It's
Well, actually,
too horrifying
we did
for
an
words.
album cover, I believe, where we all went retro back into the 50s with the white coats, and the skinny ties and slick back hair and all that kind of stuff.
So kind of just where we are today, you guys just put out a new record, Steady as She Goes, and you
Yes.
played a few songs from that
We
today.
played, yeah.
That was your first studio record in 20 years.
Right.
So what caused you guys to get back in the studio together?
Well, I'm sure Jack has a take on this too, but it's obviously one of the questions that we get when we do interviews because people wonder what the heck took you so long. And when I look at it after the fact, our last studio album was for Epic, and it was in 1990, Paradise Found, and then Jack and I never quit playing. We kept on playing, and we sort of get half-hearted artist offers to do projects, and it just never seemed like the right thing. But also, I think, and just in terms of being in a good creative space, just a number of things came together. A recording at Levon's place. Larry Campbell. I don't know if you know Larry, but he's a great guy and a musical genius.
It was Levon Helm's place, just to reiterate.
Yeah, Levon's right where he does the Midnight Ramble, and just a lot of stuff. And it all came together. I did some co-writing with Jack and Larry, stuff I'd never really done before. It was all really exciting. We did the whole project in 11 days, including the writing. And it was just like a perfect storm of creativity. It was painless, it was fun, and we got done and went, whoa, check this out.
Yeah, that's great. And it just came out in April, so you guys
It
are
did.
still kind of promoting the release of it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
And playing new material and all that. Do you have anything else lined up for the summer other than kind of touring? You guys playing some
Yeah,
shows?
we've got a number of gigs, and since we're doing an interview, I should probably
Plug it, yeah.
I should plug it, but I'm going to plug the website because that's where I'd have to go to find out about it. HotTuna.com, and
Right.
we're doing a bunch of gigs over the summer. We're going to Italy later this summer.
Oh, cool.
We go to Italy. Yeah, it's the best. That's the best. I mean, I do it for nothing just because of the food, but
Yeah.
but they do pay you to go also, so that's good.
They know everything. I mean, it's interesting, and in some of the different countries we go to, they know a lot of details about you, and they keep up with what you're doing. Italy's one of them.
Really? I was
But
gonna
later
ask.
on in the year, we do our annual trek to New York to the Beacon Theater, and we're doing 2 nights at the Beacon, and we're going to have a great old time there in December, and a number of other.
Will that be
things.
an acoustic? Or
That will be
electric?
electric, yes.
Yeah,
We've tried acoustic there, and
This is not a time for subtlety.
Yeah,
Right.
the audience
Play
participation
loud.
is rather brutal.
Right.
And,
We need to
and
be
so-
able to pin their ears back.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys can do that.
Oh,
very
yes.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by and playing
Thanks
the
a
show
lot.
today.
Thank you.
It was
You
really
bet.
great
Thank
to meet you
you.
guys and talk to
Thanks,
you.
thanks.
And again, you guys at home, be sure to check out the session. It was really great. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
All righty.